Hi students. All right, we want to very near to close our chapter. This chapter is the Merchant of Venice. Okay, the next paragraph we want to continue that one. Are you okay? Right, fine. Okay, then Bassanio then offered him to 3,000 dukes as many times over as he should desire. Then Bassanio also tried to help Antonio uh, for payment of their debt. Yet Shylock refused it. But Shylock don't want more money. He wanted only the pound of flesh from this body of Antonio. He still insisted upon having a pound of Antonio flesh. He means here cruel Shylock. The young counselor now wanted to Shylock to let her have a look at the bond once again. Here young counselor means here young lawyer said that you just to look at that bond paper, agreement paper again. When she had read it, she said, that means she means here Balatzer, I means Portia. This bond is fortified. Fortified means artificial. It's make some kinds of forgery. That means some rewrite things are there. And by this, the moneylender wrongfully claims a pound of flesh to be cut off by him nearest Antonio heard. That means should be cut the piece of flesh from the Antonio's head or heart. Then he said to Shylock, be merciful, take the money and bid to tear the bond. That means you should have to tear the bond and give some kinds of merciful. Take the money as in the case of merciful and relieve Antonius. But no mercy would be cruel, Shylock show. He said, by my soul, I swear no man can persuade me to change my mind. That is, nobody can change my mind. I have one big dictum. What is a dictum? I have won my oath. What is the oath? That means I want a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. I don't want a suitcase of money, a room of money. I don't want. That means I don't want more money. That means the balancer tried to compromise the issue, but still our cruel Shylock not come in near. He is not agree the statements. Now Antonio said, Balancer, you must prepare your bosom for the knife. You ready for, don't want to say about more and more compromise. Okay, you can said to your, that means Mr. Shylock to cut my flesh. While Shylock was sharpening the long knife, oh really, Shylock is ready now to cut the flesh from the body of Antonio, now sharpening the knife. Oh right, God. And feeling it's a sharp edge, Balancer asked Antonio, have you got anything to say? You want to say anything? Balancer means here Portia, disguised as Balancer. Antonio calmly said, I have but little to say. I have prepared my mind to die. Yes, I don't want to say, but I want a little bit of time to prepare my mind to die. Who said it? Antonio said it. To whom? Antonio said it to the lawyer Balancer. Then he turned to Bassanio and said, give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I have fallen into the misfortune for your sake. Tell my regards to your house honorable wife, and how I had loved him. Really, this paragraph is very interesting. Still, Antonio don't know the Persia is Balancer, because Persia disguised as Balancer. That is in the case of inside the court as a lawyer. Balancer here work as a lawyer, is it? Yes, actually the Balancer, who is a Balancer? The Balancer is here Persia. So this is usually said that in front of the court. The judge says, you want to say anything? Last time, you want to say anything? That time Antonio said that, as I don't want to say anything, but I want a little bit time to prepare my mind to die. Then he turned to Bassanio, but Antonio turned to Bassanio because Bassanio is a very close friend of Antonio. Antonio liked Bassanio very much. Antonio now came in front of the court because of Bassanio. You know that? Yes. You know the story? Yes. You know the flashback? Yes. That's why Antonio is a still kind man, pious, generous. And he said to Bassanio, what he said? Give me your hand, Bassanio. Lastly, give me your hand. Fare you well. You should have to. God bless you. Like that. Grieve not. Don't worry about my death. Don't worry about my death. That is say that. Grieve not that I have fallen into this misfortune. Here misfortune means he is in front of the court. That is misfortune. For your sake. Actually, I came here in front of the court because of you, but you don't worry about that. You don't think about that. You don't worry and think about me and your my misfortune. Okay, this is who telling now. Antonio telling to his close friend, best friend Bassanio. Tell my regards to your honorable wife, who's at Persia. That is interesting thing. Actually, Portia is in front of Antonio inside the court. Really, is it? As a lawyer, okay, named Balser. Okay, in the deepest agony, agony means pain, Bassanio replied, Antonio, I am married to a wife who is dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all of the world are not considered by me above your life. Now Antonio is a little bit pain. Bassanio is a little bit pain because of Bassanio, Antonio is now in front of the court. Only the reason Bassanio is the reason now Antonio is in front of the court. You see, that's why Bassanio is too much agony and worry and is in confused manner. He is disappointed and his frustration is shown in these words. What did he say that? Antonio, I am married to a wife who is dear to me as if life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not considered to be my above your life. That means everything is considered. Your life is top. Others' life is not top. In all the world considered, if my wife, my relatives, my all the I am considered your life is top and my and other life is in below, bottom. I am willing to lose all. Now I lose everything. Really, I don't want no wife. I don't want my relatives. I want only you. That is a good friendship here shown between Bassanio and Antonio. Because Bassanio is helpless now. I would sacrifice everything to this devil here to save you. Then lastly, Bassanio said that I am sacrificed my life because I want to save you. I want to save your life. Your life is important for me. Who said it? Bassanio told to Antonio. Okay. Shylock now cried out impatiently. Now Shylock is watching this whole drama. Now Shylock too much angry and he is impatient. That means he wants to do the work. What is the work? That means to take the flesh from the body of Antonio. He is sharpening the knife. He is now impatient and said, we are wasting time. I pray, pronounce this sentence. Every heart was full of grief for Antonio. That means I don't want more time to wait. Do it very immediately. That is a word said by who? Impatient Shylock. What does Shylock want? Shylock want to punish Antonio. What kind of punish? Take the flesh from the body of Antonio. So he is sharpening the knife. As the judgment was going to be announced, the young lawyer asked Shylock if there was a balance to weigh the flesh. Yeah, a pound of flesh is a word is here. No, a pound of flesh. Pound means here rupees. Flesh. How to calculate this? That's very difficult from our body, no? Is our leg is how much, if our hand is how much, our head is how much weight, a finger is how much weight, a thigh is how much weight. We want to measurement. Is it possible? That's why Shylock said that he had them ready. The lawyer also asked him to if he had called doctor, lest Antonio bleeds to death. Shylock said no and added that it was not written in the bond. Oh my God, what a cruel Shylock is that. Okay, then judge said that, okay, we want to count it, a pound of flesh from the body of Antonio. At that time, if you cut the flesh, too much blood will comes out. It's a bleeding times comes out. So definitely there should be a doctor. Who said that? Judge said that. Okay. That time our villain, cruel, Shylock said that no need of a doctor. He said that. Thus Antonio bleeds to death. Shylock said no and added that it was not written in the bond. In this agreement, there is no written, there is a doctor, there is a bleeding, nothing. I want a fresh flesh of body from Antonio's body. I want a flesh from Antonio's body, pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Equal to rupees, that pound means here rupees. That means that amount I needed, that amount of flesh I needed from Antonio's body. There is no another things mentioned in the agreement or bond. Bond means here agreement. Okay. So still this court is going on. Too much confusion now comes out. How to cut that? How much amount is we can count? How can we count the flesh? That's the problem. That's why if you cut some parts of our body, okay, it should be bleeding. Definitely it should be bleeding, no? Then we should have to repair it in order to fill that one. We need the assistance of a doctor. But Shylock said that there is no need of a doctor because there is no doctor included in the agreement or bond. Okay, Balasar replied, it is not so named in the bond. Balasar said that, okay, it is not named in the bond, okay. But what of that? It was a good if you did so much for this sake of charity. To this Shylock answered, I cannot find it. It is not in the bond. Then Balasar tried to negotiate, tried to give relief some kinds of words, but Shylock, oh my God. But Antonio said it. What is Antonio said it? Antonio said it. Not Antonio. Shylock said that no, there is no need of what? There is no need of what? There is no need of what? There is no need of doctor. There is no need of any other person in there. I want the flesh body from the Antonio. I want a pound of flesh from the body of Antonio. I don't want anything. Doctor, no need here. There is no mention in the agreement. And there is no charity here. Nothing. It is not mentioned in the agreement or bond. It is in the Shylock answer. I cannot find it. It is not in the bond. Then said Balasar, a pound of Antonio flesh is yours. Okay, the pound of Antonio flesh is yours. The law allows it, and the court awarded. And you may cut this flesh from this of his chest. From the chest, you can cut the flesh from the Antonio body. Now court is said that okay, you can cut. Who can cut? Who? Yes, Shylock can cut flesh from the body of Antonio. Chest, chest. Okay. But this bond here give you no drop of blood, but one condition. What is the condition? No single drop is bleed from the chest. Are you ready for that? What is the condition? No need of any drop of blood from the chest. The words clearly are pound of flesh. The only pound of flesh, there is no blood. The agreement said that if you say that the agreement is very severe, okay, we also said that agreement is severe. That means there is no drop of blood. Only pound of flesh is taken from the chest of Antonio. Are you ready? Very interesting, is it? Yes. The word clearly in the pound of flesh. If you cutting off the pound of flesh, you shed one drop of Antonio blood, your land and gods are by the law confiscated to the state of Venice. If it happen, if you cut the pound of flesh from the chest of Antonio, okay, you can do it, but not drop a single blood from the body or chest of Antonio. If it is happen, If the blood is dropped, what will your entire property will confiscate. Confiscate means കണ്ടെടുക്കുക. കണ്ടെടുക്കുക means പിടിച്ചെടുക്കുക. Confiscated to the government of Venice. Whose property will confiscated? Shylock property will confiscated to the government of Venice. Venice is a place military, right? So you should have to, you can cut the flesh of pound of flesh from Antonio's chest, no problem, but don't drop a single blood. If it is happen, if the blood is bleed, your entire property, your entire things taken by government of Venice. Confiscated means taken by government of Venice. നിർബന്ധമായിട്ട് പിടിച്ചെടുക്കും എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. എന്ത് പിടിച്ചെടുക്കും? സ്വത്തുക്കളെല്ലാം പിടിച്ചെടുക്കും. Yes, that is the confiscated to the state of Venice. Now who is in trouble? Now our Shylock in trouble, because Shylock can cut the pound of flesh from Antonio's chest. Why? If our body is cut, definitely the blood will comes out. The court has said that no blood comes out. If your blood comes out, your entire property will taken by the government. So now the situation is very important, right? Hearing this, Shylock was totally confused. Hearing this, Shylock was totally confused. It was utterly impossible for Shylock to cut off this pound of flesh without shedding some of Antonio's blood. This wise discovery of Balthazar saved the life of Antonio. Now the Antonio life is saved because Shylock couldn't do this wicked work to cut the flesh from the body of Antonio's chest, because definitely if it cut, there should be a blood. If the blood comes out, all the property and share of Shylock confiscated by the government of Venice. It is ordered by the court. Now Shylock is too confused. Shylock cannot do this work. So that is why Antonio's life is saved by the advocate, lawyer, Balthazar. Now, really Balthazar thanks to Antonio. Antonio thanks to Balthazar. Okay? So that is things have this. Next. All admire the wonderful sacrifice of the young counselor. Yes, all by admired. Admired means എല്ലാവരും ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു, ആരാധിച്ചു. The sagacity means trick, cunning of this young counselor. Find himself defeated in his cruel intent. Shylock said with a disappointed look. Now Shylock is disappointed that he was ready to take the money. Now he said that I don't want to cut the flesh from the body of Antonio, just I want money only. Now our Shylock is defeated. Okay. Rejoiced beyond the measure of Antonio unexpected deliverance of Bassanio, cried out. Bassanio now too much happy. Now after that Bassanio cried loudly, happily cried. What? Here is the money. Take your money, Bassanio said to Shylock. But Portia stopped him, saying slowly, there is no haste. The money lender shall have nothing but the penalty. Therefore, prepare, Shylock, cut off the flesh, but mind you, shed not a drop of blood. If you make a mistake, you are condemned by the law of Venice to die, and all your wealth is fortified to these states. At that time, Portia said that, don't give money. No, don't give money. That means Shylock should have to cut the flesh from the body chest of Antonio. Don't give the money. You should do. There is only the way is that one. No money give now. You should have said that I don't want money. I want the pound of flesh from the body of Antonio. Do it now. Don't give money. Portia said to, yes, Portia said to whom? Portia said to Bassanio. Okay, then that's the things have to go. We are in the very near to merchant of Venice. Okay. Give me my money and let me go, said Shylock. I have ready here, said Bassanio. Bassanio said that, okay, take your money. Shylock was going to take the money. Portia again stopped him. But Portia never allowed to Bassanio to give the money. saying, "Wait, I have yet another hold upon you." But the laws of Venice, your wealth is fortified to the state of having conspired against the life of one citizen, and your life lies its mercy to the Duke. Yes. Again, this barrister said that, lawyer said that, you have fortified the agreement, fortified, or you have to cheat the government. That's why your entire property will be taken by the government and you should be sentenced to jail. Okay, then, therefore, down on your knees and ask him to pardon to you. So you should have to pardon in front of the court. Pardon means mop. The Duke means the judge, then said to Shylock, "You may see the difference of your belief in God. I pardoned your life before you ask it. Half of your wealth belongs to Antonio. The other half comes to the state." Oh my God. The judge is now declared the verdict. അങ്ങനെ വിധി പ്രഖ്യാപിച്ചു. What is that? Your half of the wealth, your property will give to Antonio, and half is confiscated to the government. The Duke now released the Antonios, and release means widow, and dismissed the court. Court is now finished. He then highly praised the wisdom of indignity of young counselor and invited him to home to dinner. And he really appreciated now the cunning and the trick of whom? Cunning and the trick of Balancer. Because of the Balancer only he saved the life of Antonio. That's why judges or duke is too much like the verdict, too much like the intelligence of the counselor. Counselor means here Balancer. But Portia, who meant to return to Belmont before her husband, refused to invitation politely. When the Duke left the court, Bassanio said to Balancer, "Most worthy gentleman, I and my friend Antonio have been acquainted for a grievous penalties by our wisdom, and I beg you accept the 3,000 ducats due to Shylock." So Bassanio ready to give the money, but Portia and Balancer said that don't give money to cruel Shylock. But Portia was not ready to accept the money. Bassanio again pressed Balancer, accepted some reward. It came into the Portia's mind to pay trick upon her husband. She said, "Give me your ring, I will wear it for your sake." Yes. So that is the things has to happen. Bassanio was distressed when this counselor asked him the only things he could not part with. He replied that he could not give him a ring because it was his wife's gift. He had promised her never to part with it. At this, Portia pretended to be offended and left the court. Now, ring is given by this advocate, but Portia said that don't give that. Don't give the ring. Okay, "Dear Bassanio," said Antonio, "let him have the ring. Let my love and the great service he had done for me be valued against your wife's displeasure." Ashamed to seem ungrateful, Bassanio yielded and sent the ring to Balancer. Now he gave the rings to Balancer. That means advocate. Portia returned home happily, having performed good affection. But at Belmont is a place, she waited for her husband. When Bassanio arrived accompanied by Antonio, her eyes immediately fell upon empty fingers, and she asked him about his wedding ring. "I gave it to the lawyer who saved Antonio's life," Bassanio said that. There is another lawyer is there, that is here. I said it. That lawyer is now taken by the ring from Bassanio, and Bassanio returned home. At that time, Portia asked, "Where is your ring?" At that time, Bassanio said that I will give the ring to who? A lawyer for the save the life of Antonio. Hearing this, Portia looked very angry and reproached Bassanio. She said, "No, you lie. You gave it to some other woman." Yes. And he said with a great earnestness, no woman had it." The young lawyer who refused 3,000 ducats of my beggar for the ring. What could I do, sweet Portia? Then here Bassanio justify his words, that means he giving rings to a lawyer, but Portia said that no, you should maybe you have given the ring to another woman. There is a doubt comes to Portia. But at that time, Bassanio said that no, I will give the ring because the lawyer want the ring. That is why I will give the ring for the uh, reward for the lawyer. Here in the quarrel between the couple, Antonio came. Here the quarrel comes out, Portia and Bassanio. Then Antonio said, I am unhappy cause of this quarrel. Oh, this is not good. Now this is a time for enjoyment. Portia consoled Antonio not to grieve. Then Antonio said, I once did lend my body for Bassanio's sake, but for him too, whom your husband gave the ring, I should have now been dead. I swear your Lord will never more break his word with you. That means says about Antonio said. That means you should have to don't quarrel with Bassanio. That's your husband. You should not quarrel with him. You should live with a very peaceful and joyful. Don't worry about other things. Then you shall be in surety, said Portia to Antonio. Give him the ring and bid him keep it better than the other. So saying, she gave a ring to him. Okay. Now she also gave the rings to. She had a ring. She gave ring to Bassanio. When Bassanio looked at the ring, he was strangely surprised to find it was the same he had given away. Then Portia told him how she had been a young counselor, the Nerissa, her clerk. You know Nerissa? Yes. Portia then gave him a letter which contained the happy message of Antonio's ships supposed to be lost, safely arriving there. Now also, good news also announced by Portia. That means Antonio's ships comes out from other country to the harbor and it is no damage. Everything is fine now. Okay, Antonio's ship supposed to be lost, safely arriving in the harbor. So the tragic beginnings of this rich merchant story, we are all forgotten in this unexpected good fortune which followed. There was a leisure to laugh at this comical adventure of this ring and also the husband who did not know his own wife. I mean, still this don't this is a discussion is disguised is here. No, Portia actually acts as a balancer. That is the Bassanio don't understand. I mean, Antonio don't understand that one. That is Portia. Okay, now this is a comedy and the merchant of Venice here. Merchant is there. Antonio is the merchant here. So here is everything is fine now. Antonio saved the life. Portia's and Bassanio's married finished and they have to lead a good life. And Antonio's properties are get and Shylock property loss. And Antonio's ships returned back safely. And Antonio became again rich person. So that's the end of the story here. Okay, that's fine. That's the Merchant of Venice is finished. Okay, here's too much exercises here. See that the following events are in jumbled order. You can make a jumbled order. You can make it correct. Which is first, which is last. You must find out by the row. Okay, so that is the things we must know. Okay, so many things have to, you must be know that here. Here is this food is, you can see that. That means, okay, Merchant of Venice is there. See that. Very good story, is it? Do you like the story? Yes. You should have to remember the characters of all of them. Very important. You can ask, you can get more questions from here. It was written by William Shakespeare. We are really thanks to William Shakespeare for this attempt. We understood what is love, what is kindness, what is cruelty, what is justice, what is helpful mind. Everything now getting, is it? So that's a very important things in our life. We want to follow it. Then only our life is meaningful, right? So we should have to humble to poor. We should have to help the poor whenever they need. That's the things you must be know that. So here is so much word meaning also you must be very familiar. The Venice is a place in Italy, right? So this story happens in the next chapter is my grandmother's house. That is in the next class. Okay. Okay. That's all today. Take care. Bye.